those deals shortly after they were reached, the judge saying that Austin waited too long to cancel them. California's Ventura County mountain fire is now some 14,000 acres large. Thousands of people have been forced to evacuate homes north of Los Angeles. CBS's Jonathan Bigliotti is in Camarillo, California.
We've got the most dire red flag warnings issued for much of Southern California. They remain in effect through this evening. As a result, you have tens of thousands of customers who have had their power turned off as a precautionary measure. You've got crews scattered throughout the region responding to hotspots here and other fires that have popped up across the region.
Hurricane Rafael is in the southern Gulf of Mexico, leaving western Cuba flooded and without power. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson.
Hurricane Rafael is now strengthening once again after leaving Cuba. It is on the threshold of again being a major hurricane, and we'll have to watch that. The good news, though, it's headed west in the Gulf of Mexico, and it seems like it may wander there for a little bit, and as it does so, it will weaken.
National Hurricane Center forecasters say they expect it to hit southwest Texas or Mexico early next week as a tropical storm. The Federal Reserve is expected to cut interest rates by 1/4 of a percentage point this afternoon. CBS News business analyst Jill Schlesinger.
That would put the federal funds rate at a range of 4.5 to 4.75%. Now, this would follow the 0.5 percentage point cut that we saw in September.
On Wall Street, traders aren't quite as excited as they were yesterday. The Dow up 24 and the NASDAQ up 241. This is CBS News. Think O'Reilly Auto Parts for all your car care needs. Get the parts and service you need fast from the professional parts people at O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Live and local. Imagine your team always #1 news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good morning, I'm Jackie Page. It's our top story at 11:03. We are again waiting on President Biden to address the nation following the re-election of President Trump to the 47th President of the United States. Mr. Biden is scheduled to speak at any moment now, and as soon as he does, we will take you there live. And again, keep it tuned right here to News Radio 950. The UAW mounted a very strong campaign on behalf of Kamala Harris, but at the end of the day, not only was Donald Trump elected president, he also carried the state of Michigan.
Unions can rally, recommend, and try to get out the vote, says Cornell labor expert Art Wheaton. But at the end of the day, this is a private, individual decision. And Donald Trump had also worked very hard to get union votes.
They expected about 45% of the unionized workers voted for Donald Trump. How many of those were specific to auto, I am not sure. But he did have a lot more support than people would normally expect from the labor sector.
Wheaton says this likely won't impact UAW President Shawn Fain's support, as that will be more based on the contracts he's able to deliver. Jeff Gilbert, WWJ, News Radio 950.
Meantime, 9,000 jobs on the chopping block at Nissan. Nissan says it's cutting those jobs worldwide with a goal of saving $3 billion. Nissan has 130,000 employees total, with a large tech center in Farmington Hills. There's no word where the cuts will take place and how many will be involuntary. The decision comes following disappointing sales and low profits. Nissan also plans to sell 1/3 of its stake in Mitsubishi and cut its global production capacity to 20%. High borrowing homes to cars, and the Fed is ready to provide some more relief. Interest rates are expected to be cut by another 1/4 percentage point, following the 0.5 percentage cut in September. Bank rates Greg McBride says the cut will be smaller because the Fed doesn't want to act too quickly.
The risk of acting too aggressively and bringing rates down too fast is that it could stoke inflation. And the economy's not rolling over. The Fed cutting rates at this point, it's not about pressing on the gas and giving juice to the economy as much as it's just lifting the foot off the brake pedal and bringing interest rates down so that those high interest rates aren't such a headwind to the economy. The economy's in solid shape. It's growing at a much faster than expected pace.
In 2022, inflation hit a peak of about 9%. It's now at a target rate of nearly 2%. Attorneys in a high-profile murder.
Stislicki has been missing since December 2016. Their privilege was violated when the cops turned over the polygraph questions and answers. The judge heard oral arguments and will issue a written opinion. Charlie Langton, WWJ News Radio 950.
Two women are dead after a crash on Detroit's east side this morning. Detroit police officials say it happened just after 3 o'clock at Mount Elliott and East Forest. A black Fusion and white Chrysler 300 collided with each other. The driver of the Fusion was ejected. The passenger was trapped in the car when it caught fire. Both women in the car were pronounced dead at the scene. Investigation is now underway. Afternoon along I-70. Park was setting up flares as part of a moving road crew in the right lane of the freeway in southwest Detroit when a car driven by an Allen Park man veered into the lane and hit him. The driver involved stopped and was questioned by troopers. The case will be sent to the prosecutor's office to determine if any charges will be filed. State police say drivers should move over one lane and slow down when they see first responders or construction crews on any roadway. Oakland University police need your help finding 5 men wearing ski masks accused of trying to rob a student at a dorm.
According to investigators, it took place at 12:30 Wednesday morning on the second floor of Oakview Hall. The student, a woman, was approached by the men who wanted to know if she wanted company or had a roommate. The men then asked to take her car for a ride, which led to a struggle when one man allegedly tried to steal her keys. The woman yelled for help and the men ran. They're still at large. OU police wants anyone with information to give them a call. Luke Sloan, WWJ News Radio 950.
Coming up in 2 minutes after traffic and weather.
An Emmy Award-winning journalist with roots in Detroit has died. I'm Kyle Kimball.
WWJ News Time now 11:08. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, and here's Scott Ryan.
Jackie, watching slow traffic on I-94 and I-696. This report brought to you by NECA, IBEW, Local 58 on the AAA jam cams. No crashes reported along the freeways, but we have some daytime work slowing you on eastbound 94. This is from Wyoming to Livernois. Right lane closure until 3, and this work is scheduled back tomorrow as well. Eastbound 696, seeing some slower traffic between 275 and Orchard Lake Road with the long-term work. On the westbound side of 696, you're slow near that Telegraph M10 interchange. Southbound US 23 before Cone Road, got a lane closure until 3. A little farther south on 23 south of Dundee. Township, Long Lake Road, both ways between Telegraph and Losser. Look for paving crews in the area, as well in Commerce Township on Maple Road east of Beck. Those lane closures running through the afternoon as well. Put the expertise and skill of NECA signatory contractors and IBEW electricians to work on your commercial, public, industrial, or residential construction project. Future.com. Your next update at 11:18 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
And the AccuWeather forecast, here's AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg.
Plenty of sunshine for this afternoon. It'll be cool but nice to high about 60, then clear and quite cool tonight down to 42. Tomorrow another normal.
Just outside our studios in Southfield, it's internet. WWJ News Time is now 11:10. Again, we are still awaiting the speech from Joe as soon as he starts speaking.
Involved with an election even after it's over. When it's time to seek additional help.
Relationship with family and friends becomes troubled. Productivity at work diminishes. You know, you're not able to focus or concentrate. You're finding it difficult to enjoy. You know, the silver linings there are throughout the day, or the things that you use to enjoy your passions. Having a lot of anxiety about dealing with people to where it's debilitating. That's the sign that you need to pursue something a little bit more than self-regulation.
And Dr. Sav Laban says if the coping mechanisms for election anxiety isn't working, know that no decision is longer than 4 years, and this could be a good time to re-engage with the things you're passionate about. Ryan Recker, WWJ News Radio 950.
From Detroit to Houston and then to L.A., a former Motor City news anchor has died.
No cause of death has been revealed in the passing of Chauncey Glover, a one-time Detroit news anchor and reporter at WDIV-TV Channel 4. During his time in Detroit, Glover started the Chauncey Glover Project, a mentoring program for teenage boys. The Alabama native then spent nearly a decade in Houston before KCAL CBS in Los Angeles came calling. There for just over a year at the time of his death, Glover co-anchored 2 of the station's evening newscasts. Chauncey Glover, a 2-time Emmy winner, was just 39 years old. Kyle Kimball, WWJ News Radio 950.
The bankruptcy of the Diamond Sports Group, the owners of a number of regional sports networks, is having a major effect on the bottom line of Major League Baseball.
According to a recent release to players by officials with the Major League Baseball Players Union, the Diamond Sports Group, which operates a number of regional sports networks, including FanDuel Sports Detroit, provided an average of 21% of the total revenue for 18 Major League teams that they own the broadcast rights to, including the Detroit Tigers. Many teams are now starting to move to what's being called a hybrid model for its telecasts, which include free over-the-air games combined with a direct-to-consumer subscription service, which could cost anywhere from $99 to $299 for a season. However, to replace that lost revenue, teams would need to attract on average 500,000 subscribers. The team with the most under that hybrid model, the San Diego Padres, only had 40,000 subscribers in 2024. Tony Ortiz, WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time is now 11:13, and coming up in 2 minutes, we'll check in with our Mike Campbell. Downtown Detroit getting decked out for the holidays.
Mark Ryan here. I'm with Pat Ward, owner of C&L Ward, Michigan's #1 Anderson window installer. Pat, we all know that cooler weather is on the way, and that means higher heating bills are coming. We've got to replace our cold, drafty windows. Why should we turn to C&L Ward?
Mark, first and foremost, our price. A C&L Ward price will be the best on any Anderson window, period. Plus, you can get your windows installed now and pay nothing until 2026. Line of Anderson windows. We have it all, they don't.
So you have the best price and best selection?
Yes. The big difference is our peace of mind guarantee. At C&L Ward, my installers are company trained. We never hire freelancers. So we can stand behind our workmanship for...
Students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. Fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just...
Woohoo! Another girls' night out. I'm so... Shopping, jewelry, television, JTV? I don't know. Everyone in my family is so different. JTV has thousands of jewelry styles, artisan, diamonds, pearls, colored gemstones, watches, even gift sets. I shop on TV and online.
New JTV customers save up to $40 when you shop jtv.com/radio.
Now, can you relax? Yes. Another round? Yes.
Michigan hits the road to Indiana this week. The Wolverines battle the Hoosiers Saturday. The pregame show starts at 12:30 on your home for Michigan football. News Radio 950, WWJ.
Believe it or not, it's that time of the year, and downtown Detroit's starting to get decked out for the holidays. We go live now to WWJ's Mike Campbell. Is that right, Mike?
Yeah, no tree. Yeah, no tree yet, though, Jackie. They're still working on that. They got to put that up, and then they'll light it up, obviously. But they do have the Holly Trolley already running. It's going to run November 8th tomorrow, actually, through January 5th. You can hop on this trolley and hit a number of spots, all for free, and it hits all the usual spots, but it also hits some of the really cool spots. The markets, the 1001 Wonders, which is a free event indoors right at Campus Martius, and it's so cool. It's like a little bit of fantasy land for holidays, for Christmas. It's got a skating rink inside. You don't get to use it, but there's people skating on it. It's got a gingerbread house. It has a Grinch, and it has elves all over the place, like the owner of Studio M, Melissa Anderson, who was dressed up as an elf today to tell me what's the best time to go there.
So we start queuing outside, so you have to dress warm, and then it can take about 5 to 10 minutes to come through. So that's the best time, because on the weekends, the line goes all the way around the corner.
Yeah, and it's at 1001 Woodward, and it's 1001 Wonders is what the window says. But when you go inside, it's just absolutely phenomenal, Jackie. And that gets underway as well, starting on the 14th, and will go until January 5th. So quite a big stretch for that as well. Great time downtown, a lot of free events. And then you got the markets right across the street at Campus Martius. 17 vendors in there. Very cool. Reporting live, Mike Campbell, WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time is now 11:17. Jelly Roll giving back to the city of Detroit. He's donating money to a nonprofit in every city that he visits. After last night's sold-out show at Little Caesars Arena, he announced he'd be giving to Cleaners.
Here has picked Cleaners Food Bank. Yes. We're going to be sending them a check, feeding the people around the greater city of Detroit. I love you there, Grunt Baby.
I love
That's Jelly Roll with 99.5's YCD's Steve Grunwald, who picked Gleaners following his overnight fundraiser for the nonprofit at Kroger.
And I said, I would love to donate to Gleaners Food Banks. And he said, $12,000 to Gleaners on your behalf. And I just thought that was so beautiful. He's such a good human being. It almost made me cry.
Grunwald, who's also part of the Genesee County Sheriff's Office, took Jelly Roll to the doctor before the performance for a bad toothache. Grunwald's such a good guy. WWJ News Time now, 11:18. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. Here's Scott Ryan.
I got to tell you, Jackie, he calls in his fair share of traffic tips in the morning, too. So hats off to him. He is all, yes, if we've got something going on in the morning, he is right there, and he always lets us know just about as soon as we can find it on camera. So we appreciate him very much. This report sponsored by Henry Ford College on the AAA jam cams. No crashes reported on the freeway, but we do have some midday work slowing you down. So now it's time for the NECA IBEW Local 58 construction alert update. Eastbound 94, Wyoming to Livernois. We've got a right lane closure through the midday. This work is back tomorrow as well. Westbound 696 slow near Telegraph, and the eastbound side of 696 is slow right after 275. Southbound US 23 south of Dundee. We've got a lane closure running through Saturday. Some newer work in Clinton Township and Sterling Heights. This is north and southbound Hayes. At 19 Mile, we've got a right lane closure each way through tomorrow. Seeing some backups now along northbound Hayes and on westbound 19 Mile and in the Flint area. Ramps to eastbound 69. The detours are posted. Looking for career-focused education in 2 years or less at Henry Ford College. Their 1-year and 2-year programs get you ready for big things. They also offer 4-year options like culinary school and dozens of transfer programs. Get ready for your future at Henry Ford College. Visit hfcc.edu. Your next update at 11:28 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
Now the active weather forecast from the Bill Brown Ford Weather Center.
Plenty of sunshine this afternoon with a high around 60, then clear, cool tonight, though 42. Mostly sunny tomorrow and becoming quite breezy with a high of 62. On Saturday, a sunny start, then clouds increase to high 56. Look for a little rain sometime later Saturday night. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on WWJ News Radio 950.
And right now we have beautiful sunshine here at our studios in Southfield, now 52 degrees. It's still 48 degrees right now at Detroit Metro Airport. WWJ News Time is now 11:20.
This is CBS Rewind, November 7th, 1960. The release of the John Wayne movie is dated 1987. Bruce Springsteen at the top of the album chart with Tunnel of Love. It's dated 1990. Arsenio Hall got a star on the Hollywood Walk of Fame. And November 7th, 2011. Dr. Conrad Murray found guilty of involuntary manslaughter in the death of Michael Jackson 2 years earlier. I'm Brandon Brooks. And that's Rewind.
Sponsored by Progressive Insurance. Make sure your family is well taken care of with life insurance. Protect your phones, laptops, and more with electronic device insurance. And cover your furry friends with pet health insurance.
At Trinity Health, we see the person behind the patient. We have the expert medical teams and technology of a national health system, and we offer personalized care that treats all of you. Visit TrinityHealthMichigan.org. Trinity Health, we see all of you.
Hi, this is Mike with Mike Buys Houses. You can probably guess what I do for a living. Yep, I buy houses for cash. Selling your home can be a real hassle, and if you want to skip the repairs, showings, real estate agents, open houses, and everything else that costs you time and money, give me a call at 248-900-1010. That's 248-900-1010. I will give you a fair, all-cash offer on your home right away, and we can close in as little as 3 days. At Mike Buys Houses, we buy houses in any condition, in any price range, and in any location in Southeast Michigan. I'm a private real estate investor who buys several houses a month, and I want to buy more. No matter what your situation is, I can help. I buy vacant houses, completely trashed houses, inherited houses, houses that are behind on payments, any type of house. Bring it on. If you own a house and want to sell it fast, call me, Mike, at Mike Buys Houses, 248-900-1010. That's 248-900-1010.
I want to learn how to cook, but I keep ordering takeout.
I plan to rearrange my closet, but I stopped after the clothes up off the floor. Language
language? Babbel makes it easy. In just 15 minutes a day, Babbel's award-winning language learning app will help you start speaking another language. Start having conversations in as little as 3 weeks.
Comment tu t'appelles? Comment tu t'appelles? Vous êtes où?
Vous êtes où? Babbel's bite-sized lessons make it easy to learn words and phrases you'll actually use. So when someone asks, "How's your French going?" you can say,
Babbel est amusant et facilite grandement l'apprentissage d'une nouvelle langue. Et cela ne prend que 15 minutes par jour.
when you want a really brilliant subscription sold. Now try Babbel for free at Babbel.com. Just go to Babbel.com and start learning a new language today. That's
And we are still awaiting a speech on President Biden following the re-election of President Trump. We'll take you there live as soon as he does. WWJ News Time now, 11:23. That means it's time for sports, and here's Chris Fuller.
Well, Jackie, something we're going to be waiting on is if Nico Collins, the star wide receiver for the Texans, is going to be available for this game against the Lions this weekend. He was medically cleared. They have yet to declare that he's going to come back. He has not practiced yet this week. We will see. Yeah, that'd be big.
It's big. It's so big. When you watch the game last Thursday night against the Jets, you can see nobody getting open. And then when you put on the coach's film, the All-22, the high angle, and watch it, there's no place for him to go.
We shall see. With sports, 23 and 53 past each hour. Chris Villar, WWJ News Radio 950.
All right, and thank you, Chris. And President Biden is now speaking at the Ellipse in Washington. We take you there live.
Thank you, Steve. Please. Thank you. Hey, it's good to see you all. Particularly good to see my granddaughter sitting in the front row here. Hey, Finn, how are you, honey? For over 200 years, America has carried on the greatest experiment in self-government in the history of the world. And that's not hyperbole, that's a fact. For the people vote and choose their own leaders, and they do it peacefully. And we're in a democracy. The will of the people always prevails. Yesterday, I spoke with President-elect Trump and congratulated him on his victory. And I assured him that I'd direct my entire administration to work with his team to ensure a peaceful and orderly transition. That's what the American people deserve. Yesterday, I also spoke with Vice President Harris. She's been a partner, a public servant. She ran an inspiring campaign, and everyone got to see something that I learned early on to respect so much, her character. She has a backbone like a ramrod. She has great character, true character. She gave her whole heart effort. She and her entire team should be proud of the campaign they ran. You know, the struggle for the soul of America, since our very founding, has always been an ongoing debate. It's still vital today. I know for some people, it's a time for victory, to state the obvious. For others, it's a time of loss. Campaigns are contests, competing visions. The country chooses one or the other. We accept the choice the country made. I've said many times, you can't love your country only when you win. You can't love your neighbor only when you agree. Something I hope we can do no matter who you voted for is see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Bring down the temperature. I also hope we can lay to rest the question about the integrity of the American electoral system. It is honest, it is fair, and it is transparent. It can be trusted, win or lose. I also hope we can restore the respect for all our election workers who busted their necks and took risks at the outset. We should thank them. Thank them for staffing voting sites, counting the votes, protecting the very integrity of the election. Many of them are volunteers who do it simply out of love for their country. And as they did their duty as citizens, I will do my duty as president. I'll fulfill my oath, and I will honor the Constitution. On January 20th, we'll have a peaceful transfer of power here in America. To all our incredible supporters, cabinet members, all the people who've been hanging out with me for the last 4 years, God love you, as my mother would say. Thank you so much. You put so much into the past 4 years. I know it's a difficult time. I hear you and I see you. Don't forget all that we accomplished. It's been an historic presidency. Not because I'm president, because what we've done, what you've done. Presidency for all Americans. Much of the work we've done is already being felt by the American people. The vast majority of it will not be felt over the next 10 years. We have the legislation we passed. It's just only now just really kicking in. We're going to see over $1 trillion worth of changing people's lives in rural communities and communities that are in real difficulty. Because it takes time to get it done. So much more is going to take time. But it's there. The road ahead is clear, assuming we sustain it. There's so much we can get done. And will get done, based on the way the legislation was passed. And it's truly historic. You know, we're leaving behind the strongest economy in the world. I know people are still hurting, but things are changing rapidly. Together, we've changed America for the better. Now we have 74 days to finish the term, our term. Let's make every day count. That's the responsibility we have to the American people. Look, folks, you all know your lives. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. Setbacks are unavoidable, but giving up is unforgivable. We all get knocked down, but the measure of our character, as my dad would say, is how quickly we get back up. Remember, a defeat does not mean we are defeated. We lost this battle. The America of your dreams is calling for you to get back up. That's the story of America for over 240 years and counting. It's a story for all of us, not just some of us. The American experiment endures. We're going to be okay, but we need to stay engaged. We need to keep going. And above all, we need to keep the faith. I'm so proud to have worked with all of you. I really mean it. I sincerely mean it. God bless you all. God bless America. And may God protect our troops. Thank you, thank you, thank you.
And that was President Biden speaking at the ellipse of the White House, just to talk, congratulating former President Trump on his re-election and encouraging America and the people to vote and choose their leaders, and encouraging his supporters and Kamala Harris's supporters to not give up and to continue forward and to move on. And just because your leader changes doesn't mean that your love for country should change. So CBS News, of course, will have more coming up on this in the moments ahead. WWJ News Time now, though, is 11:31.
Live and local. Detroit's #1 news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good morning, I'm Jackie Page. It's our top story at 11:31. Donald Trump won the presidency and carried Michigan despite an extraordinary effort on the part of the UAW to support Kamala Harris. WWJ's Jeff Gilbert has more.
Members look to their union to protect their jobs and win them raises, says Cornell University labor expert Art Wheaton, but they don't always look to union presidents for political guidance. Wheaton doesn't expect this to impact Shawn Fain's ability to lead the UAW.
He's still had a lot of great gains and he's got a lot of great contracts, but it doesn't necessarily mean that what one person says will influence someone else to vote your way.
Wheaton expects Fain to have a very combative relationship with the Trump administration. Jeff Gilbert, WWJ, Radio 950.
Meantime, there will be more cuts in the auto industry as Nissan is cutting some 9,000 jobs globally in an effort to save $3 billion. The company trying to deal with disappointing sales and profits. Nissan also planning to sell 1/3 of its stake in Mitsubishi and cut its global production by 20%. Nissan did not say where the job cuts would come from and how many will be involuntary layoffs. Nissan has 130,000 employees worldwide and has a large tech center in Farmington Hills. The Fed is expected to cut interest rates today following last week's reports of further cooling inflation. In 2022, inflation hit a peak of about 9%. It's now at about 2.8%. Bank rates Greg McBride.
Likely to last this year. Time will tell. The Fed does not want to paint themselves into a corner or put themselves on a preset course. They wanted the flexibility to evaluate economic data as it comes in and adjust accordingly. I do expect that the Fed will bring interest rates down a little bit more, but that's going to depend on how the economy is doing. The economy continues to surprise to the upside.
If the economy stays on an upward trend, we will see fewer rate cuts in 2025. U.S. markets hit record highs on Wall Street yesterday in reaction to Donald Trump's election victory, with the Dow, S&P 500, and the NASDAQ all surging.
Trump is likely to be very good for business. That is what they're betting on. He has floated cutting the corporate tax rate. He has floated a lighter touch regulatory environment. Investors are looking at this and they're saying, hey, that is potentially good news for corporate profit.
That's CBS's Kelly O'Grady reporting. Meantime, some small mom-pop businesses are hoping the election will bring about change that will help their bottom lines.
Dream Fluff Donuts does a brisk business selling sweet treats, but owner Alex Siu says rising prices have had a big impact.
Profit is less.
Meanwhile, he says crime is up. The donut shop was recently robbed by a group of gun-wielding teenagers.
It's horrible. You know, this is what society's come to. That's not right.
But Siu says he's optimistic that after the election, there will be less lawlessness and inflation.
This is the worst one. That's why I hope something change soon.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, Berkeley, California.
Democrats spending a lot of time trying to understand what fueled Donald Trump's political comeback, but what is top of mind for Kamala Harris after conceding the presidential race.
Reflect and try to figure out what Democrats need to do. I'm sure she still has political aspirations for the future, and a big part of that's going to be identifying where they went wrong here, both on messaging and on political strategy, the places they were going and the voters they were focusing on.
That's reporter Zach Hudak. Well, Israel's prime minister spoke with President-elect Trump for 20 minutes last night, according to the Israeli leader's office, discussing the country's security. Before that, Netanyahu congratulated Trump in a statement calling his election victory history's greatest comeback. Questions remain about how the incoming Trump administration will handle the conflict in Gaza.
In his first term in office, Trump was a staunch supporter of Israel. His administration even shifted U.S. policy on Israeli settlements in the occupied West Bank, declaring that they were not illegal under international law. But Trump did repeatedly say during the campaign that Israel should finish the war in Gaza.
That's CBS's Holly Williams reporting. Several people have been injured and multiple homes burned after the mountain fire broke out Wednesday morning in Southern California's Ventura County. It has spread to over 14,000 acres and is 0% contained. President Steve Taylor came back to try to salvage anything from his burned-down house.
Sadness, devastation, shock. You know, we lived here since 1987. We moved here in what happened in these 60 some odd years.
Evacuation warnings and orders were issued for many residents in Camarillo, Somis, and people near the Santa Clara River as well. WWJ News Time now 11:36. Closer to home, attorneys for the man accused of Daniel Stizlicki want the case against him thrown out.
The issue for the judge is whether protected under attorney-client privilege. A 37-year-old Floyd Galloway was charged with the murder of Danielle Stizlicki, whose body has never been found since she disappeared back in December of 2016. The Attorney General, who's prosecuting the case now, believes Galloway is her murderer. But Galloway's attorney wants the judge to throw the case out because they argue that those answers to the polygraph questions led to the charges and they are protected. A judge heard arguments yesterday and will issue a written opinion before trial. Or not. Charlie Light, WWJ News Radio, 950.
A deadly crash on Detroit's east side this morning, taking the lives of two women. Not many details released as of yet, but police are continuing their investigation. It happened at Mount Elliott in East Forest, involving two cars. The victims were two women. A tragic update to a crash involving a road worker yesterday.
A 53-year-old Lincoln Park construction worker has died after being hit by a car in a work zone Wednesday afternoon. According to Michigan State Police, he was setting flares down in the right lane of I-75 near the Rouge Bridge when a 71-year-old driver got into Driver cooperated with troopers on the scene. Michigan State Police will send a report to the prosecutor's office to determine any possible charges. First Lieutenant Mike Shaw reminds drivers to move over and slow down when they see workers on the road. Taylor Dietz, WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time now 11:38. Traffic and weather together on the 8th, and here's Scott Ryan.
Jackie, 2 new problems, including a crash on the Southfield Freeway. This report sponsored by North Bloomfield Properties on the AAA Jam Cams. Southbound M39, there's a crash on the entrance ramp from Joy Road. It has the end of the ramp blocked. You can still get onto the freeway, but you just don't have as long of a lead time here. They've got the cones out to direct you from the ramp to the freeway. Debris eastbound 94 after Rawsonville Road. It's affecting that right lane. Eastbound 94, just a little slow between Wyoming and Livernois. Right lane closure in place until 3. Southbound US 23, south of Dundee. Newer work this week blocks a lane, and that'll run through Saturday. Still very slow once you make your way through that area in Monroe County. Clinton Township, Sterling Heights border, Hayes, both directions at 19 Mile. We've got a right lane closure each way through Friday. We've all heard the challenges of being a rental property owner, but rental income is a great way to build your investment portfolio. The key is to leave the management of your property to North Bloomfield Properties. They've been a trusted resource for rental owners for over 3 decades. Visit northbloomfield.com. Your next update at 11:48 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
A nice afternoon with plenty of sunshine and a high not far from 60. Then tonight will be clear and rather chilly, low 42. Tomorrow mostly sunny, becoming breezy and quite pleasant for the afternoon, high 62. For Saturday, sunshine to start, but increasing clouds, high 56. A little rain is likely later Saturday night. Sunday, cloudy with a couple of showers, breezy in the afternoon, a high 62. For Monday, mostly cloudy and a little cooler, Monday's high 55. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on WWJ News Radio 950.
And currently we have sunny skies at Detroit Metro Airport, 52 degrees. WWJ News Time now 11:39. Oakland University police are looking for 5 men wearing ski masks who tried to rob a student inside a dorm.
Investigators say it happened at 12:30 Wednesday morning on the 2nd floor of Oakview Hall. The student, a woman, was approached by the men who asked her if she wanted some company and if she had a roommate. The men then asked if they could take her car for a ride, and a struggle ensued as one man allegedly tried to steal her keys. The men ran when the woman yelled for help. They're still on the loose. Anyone with information should call OU Police. Luke Sloan, WWJ News Radio 950.
WWJ News Time now 11:40. One of the most distinguished young television journalists has died.
The wife of Dr. Chauncey Glover was a Detroit news anchor and reporter at WDIV-TV Channel 4, where he won Emmy Awards in 2013 and 2014. After Detroit, it was off to Houston, then Los Angeles, where at the time of his death, Glover had been co-anchoring. In Detroit, Glover started the Chauncey Glover Project, a mentoring program for teen boys. No cause of death has been revealed. Chauncey Glover, Local 4, was 39.
That's WWJ's Kyle Kimball. WWJ News Time is now 11:41, and more news coming up in 2 minutes. This portion of news, by the way, sponsored by Todd's Menswear.
We're in Royal Oak. Listen, we've all tried buying online only to have to return that mistake. Well, here's a better idea when it comes to menswear. Take the short drive to Todd's Menswear in Royal Oak. Guess what? It's worth it. You'll find high-quality suits and sportswear at deep discounts. And best of all, they'll put the whole outfit together for you. Imagine walking in, finding the perfect outfit, and walking. It's fast and efficient, and you get to skip the post office return line. Right now, you'll find their famous $129.99 suit special with a free shirt, tie, and hanky. That's perfect for weddings and for special events. Todd's has been around for over 90 years, so they know what they're doing. Head over to Todd's Menswear in Royal Oak. It's easy to get to from both I-75 and 696 on 11 Mile Road between Woodward and Main Street. Remember, Tony says Todd.
Todd's Menswear is located on 11 Mile between Main Street and Woodward in Royal Oak, and well worth the drive.
Here's a message from DuckDuckGo. You know how important online privacy and security is. That's why I've subscribed to Privacy Pro from DuckDuckGo. Privacy Pro is a 3-in-1 subscription service. It includes DuckDuckGo VPN, personal information removal, and identity theft restoration. That's 3 features for the price of 1. DuckDuckGo Privacy Pro starts with the DuckDuckGo VPN. It secures your Wi-Fi connection anytime, anywhere. Personal information removal helps find and remove your personal info like your name, email, and address from sites that store and sell it. This helps to combat identity theft and spam. And if your identity is 24/7 assistance and most calls answered in less than 30 seconds. right now, you can try Privacy Pro free for 7 days. Head to duckduckgo.com/WWJ to get your 7-day free trial. Again, that's duckduckgo.com/WWJ.
Download the Odyssey app and listen to WWJ News Radio 950 and all the news, sports, music, and podcasts that move you. Powered by the Golling Auto Group. Always there for you. That's the Golling difference.
If you've been seriously injured in a store due to an unsafe hazard, the property owners play the blame game. But at Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers, we don't play that game. Visit Michigan Slip and Fall Lawyers right now at falllaw.com for your free consultation. That's falllaw.com.
I'm Mark Tapper, and Tapper's Jewelry has been serving Metro Detroit for 5 decades. My father Howard started the first Tapper's Jewelry store in Southfield, designed it on a napkin. But he wanted to make it better for you, so he moved it to Orchard Mall in West Bloomfield. Turns out, Metro Detroit loved what Howard was doing, and he opened another store in Novi. But that's not Howard's way. Instead, we updated the West Bloomfield store, doubled its size, and we built a brand new store in Novi with a diamond loft. There's nothing else like it in town. But we wanted to make Tapper's even better for you. More comfortable to shop, more options to show you. We briefly downsized in Somerset, but behind the scenes, we were building the most beautiful Tapper's yet, opening in just a few days. Tapper's, tell us your story. The story continues at our larger store in West Bloomfield, our new store in Novi, and our latest creation at Somerset Collection.
When you see trouble on the roads, call the AAA Traffic Tipster Line, 248-423-6WWJ.
Build up to Black Friday with savings all month long at Lowe's. Get up to 50% off select major appliances, plus take an additional 10% off when you buy select major appliances. And don't wait to pick up holiday inflatables under $20. Buy now, because Lowe's knows deals. About 11/6 through 12/4 cannot be combined with additional discounts. See Lowe's.com for details and qualifying items while supplies last.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. I've helped many guys with ED in my 12 years of practice. But now you can get world-class care for ED 100% online by going to HIMSS.com. So what are you waiting for?
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/joy.
Sebastian Maniscalco.
Now, is this a family? Is this your mom?
In the balcony, and the kids are down here with the father and his gumad. This is the 80s. The kids would have been up there. The parents would have been down here.
Sebastian Maniscalco, live on stage in Detroit. Little Caesars Arena, Saturday, March 22nd. Tickets now at Ticketmaster.com. Rockford's Home Furnishings is having an incredible closing and clearance sale at their Southgate location. Over $1 million.
A Gain Scent Bead story. Jim was at the laundromat when he heard his ear said Maraca, senor, but his nose said, hey, freshest scent ever. Following his nose, Jim found a man pouring a bottle of Gain Scent Beads into the washer. The scent, the freshness. Jim blurted, sir, your scent Maraca smell amazing. Actually, Jim, most noses call them Gain Scent Beads. Try Gain Scent Beads. Way fresher than detergents alone.
Shop Dell Technologies' early holiday savings event for their lowest prices of the year. The future is on sale today with limited time deals on select PCs like the XPS 16 that accelerate AI with Intel Core Ultra processors. Early holiday savings is their biggest sale of the year and the best time to upgrade. But it's only here for a limited time. Shop now at Dell.com/deals. That's Dell.com/deals.
Let's face it, nowadays most companies have to rely on dozens of expensive, disconnected platforms to run their business. And even then, things can get a little, well, stressful.
But with Odoo's all-in-one management software, packed with a suite of fully integrated business applications, every process is streamlined. Tasks are automated, and success is just a few clicks away. See how Odoo can take your business to the next level at odoo.com. That's ODOO.com.
Health reports on WWJ, sponsored by Delta Dental.
WWJ News Time now 11:48. Traffic and weather together on the 8th. And here's Scott Bryant.
Jackie, we've got a crash on the Southfield Freeway. This report sponsored by the Stroke Centers of Henry Ford Health. On the AAA jam cams, there's a crash on the southbound M39 entrance from Boyer Road. The ramp is partially blocked. You can still get onto the freeway. They have a right side of it there blocked off towards the end of the ramp. Meantime, debris has been cleared from eastbound 94 up to Rawsonville Road. Westbound 696 slow with that long-term work near Telegraph. Southbound US 23, couple of slowdowns as you make your way between Ann Arbor and the Ohio border. Southbound US 23 before Cone Road, we've got midday work blocking a lane, and then south of Dundee, we've got a lane closure running through Saturday. Bloomfield Township, Long Lake Road, both ways east of Telegraph. We've got paving crews in the area, and in Clinton Township and Sterling Heights, Hayes Road, both directions at 19-mile right lane closure there each way running through tomorrow. At Henry Ford Health, specially trained stroke experts provide the latest treatments for stroke. And for the 10th year in a row, Henry Ford Hospital has been recognized with the American Heart Association's top award for high-quality stroke care. Go to henryford.com/stopstroke to learn more. Your next update at 11:58 from the
Weather Center.
A cool but nice afternoon with lots of sunshine and a high near 60. Tonight will be clear and cool with a low of 42. For tomorrow, plenty of sunshine, breezy and quite nice with a high of 62. On Saturday, sunshine to start, then clouds increase, high 56, and some rain is likely later Saturday night. This is AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on WWJ News Radio 950.
And currently sunshine, 52 degrees. WWJ News Time is 11:50.
It's easy to see why sales of new cars have not recovered from pre-COVID levels. They're just too dang expensive. With Automotive Insight, I'm John McElroy. The auto industry is pricing ordinary Americans out of the new car market. Over half of all new car sales now go to households with incomes over $265,000 a year. People who bought new cars before the pandemic are now coming back to the market to find out that the exact same car now costs $300 more a month. So people are simply holding on to the cars that they've got, which is why the average age of cars is now 12.6 years old. Even used cars are too expensive for many households. Throw in higher interest rates, soaring insurance costs, and we've hit what they call peak auto. New car sales show no sign of going back to where they were unless or until the industry comes out with more affordable cars. With Automotive Insight, I'm John McElroy, WWJ News Radio 950.
Prescriptions require an online consultation with a healthcare provider who will determine if appropriate. Restrictions apply. See website for details and important safety information. Subscription required. Price varies based on product and subscription plan.
Hi, I'm Dr. Peter Stahl, board-certified urologist and senior vice president of men's sexual health at HIMSS. In my 12 years of practice as a reproductive urologist, I've helped many guys with ED, and it has never been more convenient to treat than it is right now, thanks to HIMSS. It really wasn't easy before. You had to take time out of your day, come to a physical office, and see a specialist like me in person. Now, through HIMSS.com, you can get world-class sexual health care and a full range of treatment options for ED through a 100% online process. It starts with a free assessment from a medical provider licensed in your state who can determine if ED treatment is right for you. If prescribed, your medication is shipped to you for free. So don't wait. Join the hundreds of thousands of guys who've gotten help for their ED through HIMSS.
To start your free online visit and find ED treatment at up to 95% off brand name prices, go to hims.com/radio. That's hims.com/radio for your free online visit.
This hour of news is brought to you by Michigan Auto Law Auto Accident Attorneys. Visit autolaw.com.
That's autolaw.com. Longing for thick, healthy, gorgeous hair? Hair Volume from New Nordic is trusted by millions of women around the world. With clinically proven ingredients like apple extract, biotin, and millet, Hair Volume nourishes your hair follicles to promote thicker, healthier-looking hair. Say goodbye to shedding thin and dull hair, and hello to thick, healthy hair with Hair Volume. Hair Volume is available online at Amazon, Walmart.com, NewNordicUSA.com, or at your local CVS.
Good morning, Doctor. Doctor? Hi, Doctor. Doctor?
Dr. Jackson's practice is growing.
What do you mean we're still short-staffed?
He needs a good patient doctor.
How do we not have enough doctors to doctor all these patients?
And he doesn't have the patience to sift through hundreds of resumes.
I need Indeed.
Indeed you do. When you sponsor a job on Indeed, it's easier for talented candidates to find it, which makes it easier for you to hire them. Visit Indeed.com/critic and get $75 towards your first sponsored job. Terms and conditions apply.
WWJ News Time is now 11:53. That means it's time for sports, and here's Chris Villar.
Well, the Lions are coming up in just a few days here. They'll be in Houston for some primetime action. But before that, the Ravens and the Bengals will kick off Week 10 in the NFL tonight. Baltimore favored by around 6 points at home. And if you need a connection with Detroit in some way, well, Lamar Jackson is kind of the guy that's being chased by one of our guys right now. He continues to be the MVP favorite, leading the league with a passer rating of 120.7. That is insane. Jared Goff, by the way, is second with 115. The schedules of the Wings and the Pistons in tandem lately. Both of them are off today. They're going to return to action tomorrow night. The Red Wings continue their mini road trip with a game in Toronto. Detroit basketball will return downtown for a date with Trae Young and the Hawks. And if you're curious as to when the Tigers ace Tarek Skubal will finally receive his Cy Young Award, well, you're going to be waiting for a while. The finalists for the big MLB awards actually don't even come out until Monday, and then the Cy itself won't be presented probably to Tarek Skubal until November the 20th. With sports, 23 and 53 past each hour. Chris Villar, WWJ News Radio 950.
And we'll take a look at the markets in 1 minute.
This is the story of the one. As a maintenance specialist for university housing, he knows college students can major in wear and tear. Plus, housing so many students doesn't leave a lot of room to house all the supplies he needs. That's where Grainger comes in. With over 1 million industrial-grade products and fast, dependable delivery, Grainger carries the quality products he needs so he doesn't have to. From a new door hinge to a whole new faucet. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
As a rideshare driver, I love keeping my car smelling fresh and clean. So when I'm driving, I only trust Febreze Car Vent Clips, featuring 3 distinct intensity settings. Because it's that little touch that sets me apart. I can turn the intensity down for subtle freshness, or I can turn it up for when I want lots of scent. So whether it's set to low, medium, or high, with Febreze Car, I know my car's going to smell amazing. Which keeps my driver rating right where it belongs. Picking up, Oscar!
Get the news you need to know without increasing your screen time.
Add the free Odyssey app to your smart speaker or phone and listen to WWJ News Radio 950 anywhere.
Or online at WWJNewsRadio.com.
WWJ News Time now 11:55. Time to check your money. And here's a Bloomberg's Tracy Jockey, right?
It's Denise Pellick with
you. Hi, Denise. Welcome back.
Hey, how are you doing? Thank you. I missed you guys. I know you've been talking about job cuts in the auto industry. We do have more to tell you about because Nissan now cutting 9,000 jobs and hacking capacity by 20%. Net income at the Japanese automaker plunging 94% in the last quarter. CEO Makoto Uchida taking a 50% pay cut there at Nissan. It's in the middle of a 3-year turnaround plan meant to reinvigorate the business. That is obviously not going that well. Meantime, the wheels continue to come off. Stellantis, as you've been talking about, laying off another 1,100 workers at its Jeep plant in Toledo, citing declining sales, bloated inventory, scaling back production at 1 shift from 2 at the Toledo South facility. That makes the Jeep Gladiator pick up. As for stocks, we're mixed today after that monster post-election rally we had yesterday that was just huge. Investors today keeping a very close eye on the Fed as it gears up to announce whether it's cutting interest rates again. And of course, investors will be watching to see if the Fed gives any indication about the future. Right now, the Dow is down, but just about 3 points. S&P 500 is up 40, NASDAQ surging 270 points. I'm Denise Pellick.
Not anymore.
My mechanic just suggested an extended service plan from Ox Car Care.
Ox Car Care?
Yeah, Ox will cover repair bills if anything happens to the car. New brakes, transmission, AC, or engine problems. Plus, Ox Car Care offers free oil changes, tire rotation, and roadside assistance.
Wait, you pay nothing on repairs? Ox gets it fixed? Free oil changes, free tire rotation, and free roadside assistance?
Yeah, you don't pay. Ox pays. Ox even has a 30-day money-back guarantee and is A-plus rated on the BBB. They handle their claims from start to finish, unlike those other warranty companies.
The last thing I need is an unexpected car repair bill. I'm calling Ox Car Care now.
Call Ox Car Care for your free quote. 800-293-5524. Ask about senior and military discounts. Don't get stuck with a major car repair bill. Call Ox Car Care. 800-293-5524. 800-293-5524. Or go to oxcarcare.com. The IRS finally caught up with Louie.
I hadn't paid my taxes in 8 years.
He was in big trouble.
We're going to take your house, garnish your pay.
Louie found out about Optima Tax Relief, America's #1 tax relief firm.
I don't owe the IRS anymore. It was because of Optima Tax.
Call Optima now for a free consultation.
Give Optima Tax a call. They can help you.
Call 800-625-7677. 800-625-7677.
Optima Tax Relief.
Actual client compensated for sharing their experience. Visit OptimaTaxRelief.com for details.
WWJ News Time 11:58. Here's Scott Ryan.
Jackie, on the AAA jam cams a crash southbound M39 on the entrance ramp from Joy Road. Tipsters Mark and Debbie tell us there's a crash at 12 Mile at Ryan. Southbound Ryan is blocked with the right lane blocked along eastbound 12 Mile. And we have word of a crash. Sounds like it'll be closing Allen Road just south of Ecorse Road. Next update at 12:08 from the Rapid Roofing Traffic Center.
AccuWeather says for the rest of the day today, we're going to see sunshine this afternoon with a high near 60. It'll be clear and cool tonight with a low near 42. Then plenty of sunshine for tomorrow. We'll see a high near 61. It'll be breezy as well. Then for Saturday, sunshine followed by increasing clouds, a high near 56. And for Sunday, a couple of clouds, maybe some showers in the afternoon, and high near 63. Right now, it just comes from Airport. It's sunny and 52.
WWJ News, Weather, and Traffic Station.
Good morning, I'm Jackie Page, and these are the top stories ahead.
Another deadly crash involving a Detroit area road worker. I'm Taylor Deeds.
Also ahead, the Fed is expected to cut interest rates. An announcement coming at 2 p.m. We'll break down what this means for your pocketbook.
This election has been stressful for many, and it is playing a toll on you. How about you try getting back into a regular routine? I'm Ryan Recker.
News Radio 950 WWJ and WSYT HD2 Detroit. Always live on the free Odyssey app. This is CBS News on the Hour, sponsored by Progressive Insurance. I'm Peter King. The cheers are for President Biden, who's just made his first public comments as Donald Trump's election win. CBS's Linda Kenyon is at the White House.
Speaking from the White House Rose Garden to the nation and to his staff, the president said now is the time to bring the country together.
I spoke with President-elect Trump to congratulate him on his victory, and I assured him that I would direct my a peaceful and orderly transition.
Biden also urged Americans to bring down the temperature of politics in this country and to see each other not as adversaries, but as fellow Americans. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
The Trump transition team has started its work at Mar-a-Lago. Here's CBS's Jake Rosen.
Trump-Vance transition co-chairs Linda McMahon and Howard Lutnick saying that they're officially undergoing vetting and processing potential administration officials in the future Trump administration. They believe that the people who will come into this administration will be fully loyal and ready to go on day one.
Officials say there have been injuries and a Southern California wildfire has destroyed homes north of Los Angeles. One of those homes belonged to Steve Taylor.
It's the randomness of life. You know, stuff happens.
The flames in Camarillo have expanded to some 14,000 acres, and thousands of people have been told to leave the area. CBS News meteorologist David Parkinson says Mother Nature is not helping firefighters.
It's really hard to contain a fire when winds are gusting as high as they are right now. It looks like conditions will improve this weekend, but there's at least another 24 hours where things are not going to get any better.
Hurricane Rafael has left Cuba with plenty of flooding and without power. It's heading west. Landfall expected in Mexico early next week. In New York, an ISIS supporter has been arrested as he tried to leave the country.
Syed Aman was arrested at JFK International Airport as he was getting ready to board a plane to Qatar. According to federal prosecutors, he had posted on social media his desire to kill Americans and said he wanted to be a martyr on behalf of ISIS. Aman faces charges for attempting
coming down.
The Dow is also down as some of Wall Street's excitement subsides. Dow is down 2 points at this hour, and the NASDAQ is up 256 points. This is CBS News. Progressive Insurance. What do your home and auto have in common? They're yours, and Progressive protects them both. Bundle today at Progressive.com. Live and local. Detroit's #1 news station. News Radio 950 WWJ.
Good afternoon. I'm Tracy McEsco. Our top story at 12:03 is an update to a story that we've been reporting this week. Detroit police say there's no threat to the public after a shooting on Tuesday night that left 3 people dead at a recording studio on the city's west side. Now, investigators say that shooting near West McNichols and Greenfield was a murder-suicide with no current danger to the public. The shooting killed 3 people, 2 men and a woman. An update on a crash along I-75 near the Rouge Bridge involving a road worker.
A road construction worker who was hit by a car Wednesday afternoon along I-75 has died. Michigan State Police say the 53-year-old from Lincoln Park was setting up flares as part of a moving road crew in the right lane of the freeway in southwest Detroit when a car driven by an Allen Park man veered into the lane and hit the worker. The driver involved stopped and was questioned by troopers. The case will be sent to the prosecutor's office to determine if any charges will be filed. State police say drivers should move over one lane and slow down when they see first responders or construction crews. Taylor Dietz, WWJ News Radio 950.
In other news, this midday, the Federal Reserve is poised to cut interest rates for a second straight time. The cut will be smaller than the half-point cut in September, with an expected 1/4 percentage point cut today. The Fed likes where inflation is going as it continues to cool after a peak of about 9% in 2022. The move will provide some added relief for consumers, but as bank rates Greg McBride says, the initial benefit will be a small one.
That credit card rate, it might take as many as 3 statement cycles before you see that lower rate reflected on your statement. Home equity line of credit, again, that's another one. It might take a couple statement cycles before you see that show up. So you can't sit back and wait for lower interest rates to land in your lap and make your life easier. If you're paying down and trying to pay off debt, you have to continue to be aggressive.
The Fed is expected to continue cutting rates, meaning bigger savings for borrowers. The election of Donald Trump is a blow to the United Auto Workers Union.
The UAW held rallies and provided extensive support to the Harris campaign, but at the end of the day, not only did Donald Trump win, he carried the union's home state of Michigan.
You go behind closed doors and nobody knows who you vote for, so you can make suggestions for that, but I don't think any company or any union member can promise to deliver votes from the union.
Cornell labor expert Art Wheaton expects UAW President Shawn Fain's relationship with the Trump administration to be combative. Jeff Gilbert, WWJ News Radio 950.
The election has been stressful for many, and if it's played a toll on you, try getting back into your regular routine.
That's the advice from Dr. Ibrahim Sablaban, a psychiatrist with Beaumont Behavioral Health.
So it's really important that people catch up on a lot of things they haven't been doing. Maybe sleeping, maybe eating all their meals, getting some rest, getting back to the general ebb and flow of life.
Dr. Sablaban says it's good to remember no decision is longer than 4 years, and things you're passionate about still exist and are obtainable, and it's a good time to re-engage with the things you are passionate about. Ryan Ranker, WWJ News Radio 950.
9,000 jobs on the chopping block at Nissan. Nissan says it's cutting those jobs worldwide with the goal of saving $3 billion. Nissan has 130,000 employees total, which are a large technical center in Farmington Hills. There's no word on where the cuts will take place and how many will be involuntary layoffs. The decision comes following disappointing sales and low profits. Nissan also plans to sell 1/3 of its stake in Mitsubishi and cut its global production capacity by 20%. Oakland University police need your help finding 5 men wearing ski masks, and they're accused of attempting to rob a student at a residence hall. Now, according to investigators, last night after midnight on the 2nd floor of Oakview Hall, the student, a woman, was approached by the men who wanted to know if she wanted company or had a roommate. They then asked to take her car for a ride, which led to a struggle when one man allegedly tried to steal her keys. The woman yelled for help and the suspects ran. They are still at large. OU police want anyone with information to give them a call.
A family fight leads to a police officer getting shot.
A shooting involving two brothers in northern Lenawee County Wednesday afternoon led to a pursuit and exchange of gunfire. The incident left one of the men dead and a police officer wounded in Jackson County. Michigan State Police were called to investigate the shooting. Officials say the suspect fled from officers and fired several shots at them. After a